to Module 2 Waveguide Components and its application. Today we'll see a special microwave device called as directional couplers. Sometimes there is a need to distinguish between the power transmitted in the two directions in the same section of the waveguide. This information will be useful to calculate standing wave ratio. This can be done with the help of a directional coupler. A directional coupler is a 4-port waveguide junction as shown in this figure. It is made up of two waveguides called as primary waveguide, secondary waveguide and a coupling element here. See, the primary waveguide will be having the two ports called as port 1 and port 2. The secondary waveguide consists of port 3 and port 4. All these four ports are connected with the help of a coupling device. When all the ports are terminated in their characteristics impedance, there is free transmission of power without any reflections between the port 1 and the port 2, and there is no transmission of the power between the port 1 and port 3 or between the port 2 and the port 4. This is because there is no coupling between the port 1 and port 3, and also there is a no coupling between the port 2 and port 4 here. The degree of the coupling between the port 1 and the port 4 and between the port 2 and port 3 depends upon the structure of the coupler used here. If I want to transmit anything, that will be passing from the 1 to the 2 and 1 to the 4. If I want to pass anything from the port 2, it will be moving to the 1 and the 3. There is no chance of moving for the port 4. The characteristics of a directional coupler can be expressed in terms of its coupling factor and its directivity. Now let us consider a wave is propagating from the port 1 to the port 2 in a primary line. The coupling and the factor and the directivity are defined by the formulas given below here. The coupling factor in terms of dB is equal to 10 log of P1 by P4 and directivity is given as 10 log of P4 by P3. Both are measured in terms of dB. See, I have said that the power has been injected at the port 1 here. That is, P1 is power input to the port 1 and P4 is the power output from the port 4 and P3 is the power output from the port 3 here. These are the two things which will be going to define the characteristics of a directional coupler. The coupling factor is a measure of ratio of power levels in the primary and the secondary lines here. See, P1 is nothing but the input power injected at the port 1 and it is relevant to the primary waveguide. And coming to the P4 is nothing but power output from the port 4 and it is related to the secondary line. Hence, if the coupling factor is known, a fraction of power measured at the port 4 may be used to determine the power input at the port 1. Now let us see what is directivity. Directivity is a measure of how well the forward travelling wave in the primary waveguide couples only to the specific port of the secondary waveguide. See, the input was given at the port 1. There is no coupling between the port 1 and the port 3. When it wants to propagate in the secondary waveguide, it will be seen at the port 4 only. When you take an ideal directional coupler, there is infinite directivity. That means the power at the port 3 must be equal to 0 because port 2 and port 4 are perfectly matched with the port 1 here. But in general cases, the directivity will be in the range of 30 to 35 dB. Various directional couplers exist, but today in this session we'll discuss mainly about the two types of directional couplers called two-hole directional coupler and Beth-hole directional coupler. Moving ahead with the two-hole directional coupler, see here, this port 1 and port 2 are relevant to the primary waveguide. Next we are having the waveguide 2 also. This secondary waveguide will be having the ports 3 and the port 4 here. It is a two-hole directional coupler. I have said that in the middle all these two waveguides are combined with the help of some coupling device. Now that coupling device will be having two holes. Here there is a hole 1 and here there is a hole 2 here. We will be having the two holes in this particular case. And when you are taking the spacing between these holes, the spacing will be also a must criteria to be maintained here. The spacing between the hole 1 and the hole 2 should be lambda g by 4 here. This is hole 1 and this is hole 2. If I am taking the center part of this hole 1 and the center part of this hole 2, the spacing between them should be lambda g by 4. It should be lambda g by 4. Now let us take the figure below here and see how the wave is propagating here. See, the input has been posed at the first port. This is a two-hole directional coupler having the 4 ports here and 2 holes here. The spacing between the holes, I have said that it should be in terms of lambda g by 4. In this case, I am taking 2n plus 1 lambda g by 4, where n is a only any positive integer here. Now let us take a case that now I have injected some input. at the port 1 here. How it is going to move only to the port 2 and the port 4 we'll see in this case. Now as the power has been injected at the port 1, power 1, see, a fraction of the wave energy is entered into the port 1, passes through the hole and it is radiated into the secondary waveguide, as the hole acts as an NNS slot antenna. The forward wave in the secondary waveguide are in phase regardless of the hole space, and these are going to be added at the port 4. Now when you are taking the backward wave in the secondary waveguide here are out of phase by 2L by lambda g 2 pi radians, and this will be cancelled at the port 3 here. See, let us take a case of here. I have injected some input at this particular point. At this hole, the wave is splitted here, and in the forward wave one will be reaching at the port 2 here, and the splitted one will be having both the forwarded path and the backward path here. Now when it is passing through this hole, it will be subjected to some phase shift. Let us consider that this hole is providing a phase shift of some 90 degrees. Now I will be seeing the green line. The green line is nothing but the wave splitted at the hole 1, and it is having a phase shift of some 90 degrees. Next, as this wave is propagating further in the primary waveguide, it is reaching to the hole 2 here. See, it is reaching to the hole 2 here. This, after reaching to the hole 2, again it is entering into the secondary waveguide here. Now here it will be having the forwarded and the backwarded path here. As the wave is splitting here in the hole 2, it is once again subjected to the 90 degrees. It is subjected once again to the 90 degrees, and it will be reaching to the port 4 and the port and the port 3 here. Now here if you are taking the waves at the port 4 here, there are two waves here which are having a phase shift of which are having the phase shift which are both are almost the same. See, the green line which has been reached to the port 4 is having a 90 degrees phase shift, and the blue line which you are considering here is having a phase shift of 90 degrees after passing the hole 2 here. Now I am taking a green line and the blue line here. Both are in phase with each other, and here the power is observed here because as there are in phase here and gets added here. Whereas if you are taking at the port 3 here, we are having the phases which are not in the which we are having the waves which are not in phase with each other here. Therefore here they will be getting cancelled completely here. That's the reason if I am injecting any wave at the port 1, the output will be observed only at the port 2 and the port 4 here. This is how a directional coupler in case of a 2-hole it will be working. Let us we need to remember that the spacing between the holes should be maintained as L is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda g by 4 here, and where n is an integer here. Let us move to the another type of an directional coupler, which is called as an Bethe hole directional coupler here. In this Bethe hole directional coupler here, we are having two waveguides. The first waveguide is called as an primary waveguide, and the second one is nothing but called as an auxiliary guide here. When you are taking here the two guides, these two guides are connected to each other with the help of a one hole, that is called as a Bethe hole here. The yellow one which I am showing here is called as a primary guide here, and the blue one, the violet one which is shown here in the figure is nothing but than a rotatable or nothing but the auxiliary waveguide here, and both of these guides are connected to each other with the help of an hole here. And the coupling here will be done with the help of a magnetic and also electrically. In a practical Bethe hole directional coupler, the electric and the magnetic coupling are made equal by rotating the auxiliary guide relative to the main guide about the coupling hole. This is a coupling hole, this is the main guide, and this is the auxiliary guide. This auxiliary guide can be rotated. This auxiliary guide can be rotated here. Since the magnetic coupling is a function of the angle between the guide axis, whereas the electric coupling is not completely depending upon the angle here. Both the directivity and the coupling of the Bethe hole directional couplers are sensitive to any changes of the frequency here. This is how the coupling is attained in a Bethe hole directional coupler here. You need to remember that when you want a two ways of a coupling, that is both electrically and magnetically, you will be making use of Bethe hole directional coupler. To attain to a magnetic coupling, this secondary one should be rotated with respect to the axis of the main waveguide. We are having the other forms of the directional couplers also. The first figure, if you see here, it is having two holes and are separated with a distance of lambda g by 4. This is a primary guide, this is a secondary guide, and this is port 1, port 2, port 3 and port 4. There is two holes. That's the reason this is called as a two-hole directional coupler. Moving to the figure B, here I am having the 4 holes. Here if you are taking, the spacing will be a little bit different here. The first one and the second one, see the width is same as between the second one and the third one here. The spacing is a little bit different here. This is called as a 4-hole directional couplers. That is a main common wall separating the two waveguides will be now having the 4 holes instead of the 2 holes. Coming to the figure 4, it is an Schwinger coupler here, and coming to this, a reverse coupling, it is also called as a reverse coupling directional coupler here. By means of a reverse coupling, here the coupling will be attained here. And coming to the figure D here, it is an Bethe hole directional coupler having a primary waveguide and an auxiliary waveguide which is a rotatable one. And in this case, the coupling is attained with the help of both magnetically and electrically. By rotating this secondary guide, we can attain magnetic coupling in the waves. In today's session, we have seen directional coupler. This directional coupler is a junction between the 4 ports. It is a junction between the 4 ports. We are having the different types like 2-hole, 4-hole, reverse coupling and the Bethe hole here. It is characterized with the help of directivity and the coupling factor here. With the help of this, we can measure what is the differences in the power, which will be further useful to calculate VSR, that is voltage standing wave ratio. Let us see a directional coupler. This is a directional coupler. This is the main waveguide. Having the port 1 and the port 2. And coming to the another waveguide, this is the another waveguide. Now it will be also having the 2 ports. Now this is the port 3, and in this case the port 4 has been terminated. This is a directional coupler. See, the main waveguide and the secondary waveguide are having a common wall here. At this particular point itself, the coupling element will be present, just like 2 holes or 4 holes or a Bethe hole, whatever it may be. Now this can't be a Bethe hole because it is not a rotatable one. This is a fixed one here. This is also having the 4 ports, but the 4th port has been terminated. This is the port 2, this is the port 4, this is the port 1, and this is the port 3 here. There should not be any coupling between 1 and 3, and there should not be any coupling between 2 and 4 here. If I am considering this to be as a 1, the wave what has been entered here will be reaching either to the port 2 and the port 4. There is no chance of receptant of this wave at the port 3. The reason is that there is no coupling between the 1 and 3 port here. This is all about a directional